Hey, sports fan. Hey, welcome to the Central Bank of Missouri, Central Bank of the Ozarks High School Highlight Show here on 92.3 KICK and the Missouri Sports Network. Certainly glad you tuned in. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Well, take two as we welcome Missouri Comet baseball coach, head coach Alex Weatherman to the show. State championship, Coach Weatherman. Again, hey, thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it, Guy.
Before we talk about the season and the ultimate end of the season here with the state championship, tell the folks a little bit about yourself. You're a former Comet. This is your first year as a head coach. How did you arrive at Marionville, and is it tough to go home where you grew up?
All right. Yeah. So born and raised in Marionville, went to school here from, preschool all the way through whenever I was a senior. I was part of the only Marionville Comet team up until this year that ever even won a district championship in baseball. So that was awesome. Marionville's a wonderful community. They're very supportive. The outpouring of love's been awesome. After my time here at Marionville, moved down to Branson for about 4 years. Went to College of the Ozarks, did the work-study program. It was an absolute blessing getting to go down there and graduate Destin McMillan. They were nice enough to allow me to come on and be a student assistant and kind of get some coaching experience there. Did a whole lot of first base coaching, worked with the catchers a little bit, and just got a little dose of what the coaching life was like. And then after that, left C of O, graduated, and went and taught at Aurora for a year, did junior high football and basketball over there while being an assistant coach at Marionville. So I'd actually been an assistant here under Jason Gross for the last 2 years, and this was my first year taking over. And it's been an absolute blessing, but it has come with its challenges too. The biggest thing that I've noticed, a lot of the parents in the community know me, and they still think of me as that young kid that's roaming around playing baseball and stuff, and just trying to build the relationship between parent and coach now, and not just friend all the time has been a challenge, but it's been a good one, and it's really paid off for us. The boys, they absolutely love it. I think they enjoyed playing and being a Marionville Comet, and it's just been awesome.
You talk about, you mentioned Coach Gross there, who kind of took you under his wing, and you kind of get reunited, so to speak, with him in a state playoff game. What was that experience like?
It was absolutely crazy. So he knew our guys like crazy because, he's been the coach here for 2 years. He knew all their tendencies. He knew everything. He played the shift quite a bit that game. He let his guys know every single hitter that came through our lineup. Here's what their tendencies are. Here's what's going to happen. A scouting report for a team you used to coach is just absolutely phenomenal. Getting to see him again, we had to switch up some of our play calls, some of our pick calls and all that stuff because we use kind of the same formula still. We do a few things different, but had to switch that up. Putting in new systems and sectional games always kind of difficult. And then just getting to coach against him was awesome. He does a phenomenal job there at Marion C. Early. They're going to continue to be extremely well coached and a very good team. And it was just a blessing to, be able to go up to him, say thank you for everything you've done for me. And then after the game, be able to give him a hug, even though it was kind of sweet to take him down and advance on.
As you look at just the run that you go on, you kind of finish up the season, you're going to play Purdy for the second and third time there in that last week. Purdy team that had beaten you earlier in the season, and then you've got to take on a very good Crane team. Both of those teams are in your district. The district very tough, very well coached district. Talk about that experience and how you guys were able to come out on top there, and that's before you even get to Coach Groves.
Yeah. Our district. One of the toughest in the state, maybe even the toughest in Class 2. It was a complete dogfight. So, it all started, the boys going into the district meeting, they were like, we're the 1 seed, we're deserving of this and everything. And me just being around the game a little bit more kind of had a better idea of what was probably about ready to go down. So we go there, Coach Harmon and Coach Hughes, Harmon at Crane, Hughes at Purdy. You know, they're two awesome guys. Like I said, they're phenomenal coaches. They always make sure they have a really, really competitive team out in the field. And Coach Harmon's been a great mentor to me, a really, really good friend. I love those guys to death, and I've learned so much from them. But going into district meeting, you know, we get the 3 seed. We walk out of that, and I just tell the boys, you know, you've got a shot to prove yourselves. You guys think you're the 1 seed. Here's your chance to come out and try to show the world. And that game against Purdy, you know, our bats have started coming alive there towards the end of the season. It was phenomenal. We put up 14 runs, I think, in the Forsyth tournament against Purdy, which was completely unexpected. Had a freshman get the win in that game. And then, you know, getting to play them in districts, our senior Jordan Williams just, I mean, threw one of the best high school baseball games I've probably ever seen. Did a great job keeping their lineup off balance. And we just played small ball and ended up getting enough crossed. And in that Crane game, boy, if you know, that Crane team, we played them in the regular season and won in 8 innings, 6-7 after trailing the whole time. And there's nobody in the world our boys want to beat more than Crane. I'm pretty sure the intensity for those 2 Crane games we played was higher than it was in the state championship game for us, because our boys just wanted to get after them so bad. They did a great job. We just came out early. We had hot bats, made the routine play. And that was our big focus. You know, I told my boys all the time, you're the best team on this field. The only team that can beat you is yourselves. And we found a way to not do that and get the job done.
And then you have the extra inning game with Morrisville or Marion C. Early. And then you've got a 2-0 shutout over a very good Gainesville team that came in with 20 wins. Mm-hmm. And then you get Putnam County and you're down in that game and you come back and win. And then East Buchanan. Talk about that run there with those 3 games, just back to back to back, and what was your pitching like in those 3 contests?
Yeah, absolutely. So Gainesville, holy cow, they can swing it. That's one of the best offensive teams we saw all year. Very well coached. Blake Hobbs, he's my age. We've talked a little bit, and he does a tremendous job there. You know, we have Cale Clark on the mound, who quickly became about as dominant as a pitcher as it gets. We're just so deep pitching wise. That's the whole reason we got to do what we did. But Cale Clark comes out. I mean, is just putting it to Gainesville, and then we get rained out and we have to go to Forsyth. We have to wait 2 days. Our boys are getting antsy. They can't wait to play again. Then we go to Forsyth. Wiley Brown comes on the mound and just finishes it out, does a tremendous job for us. Just pounded the zone, and he challenged the Gainesville hitters. He said, okay, you guys can hit. Let's see how far he can hit. And, you know, we ended up just keeping them at bay and won 2-0. They did a tremendous job. Just a bunch of battle-tested kids. Putnam County, you've got Lake High coming back at shortstop's a complete game changer for us. He's our field general. Getting him back after a torn labrum meant the world to us. Cale Clark swung about as hot of a bat as it gets in that game. Jordan Williams, again, holy cow, senior leadership did a tremendous job. And then a few guys that, you know, didn't get all the recognition in the world, but, I mean, just did a tremendous job for us. Dwayne Hammonds, Blaine Young, Jakey Davis, Kyle Bratton, Jackson Smith, and Wiley Brown. Again, I mean, holy cow. Blaine Young, go-ahead run in the, you know, Putnam County game to put us ahead. He just found a way to put the ball in play and squeezed it through the D. And then he turns around the next night. Wiley didn't have his best stuff against East Buchanan. Blaine comes in, throws 4 1/3 innings, you know, and he's not just overpowering at all, just mixes speeds, well located the ball. And a sophomore comes in and gets the win in the East Buchanan game after we make our another comeback. Blaine just had a tremendous stretch there in the state playoffs. Dwayne's bat came alive. Putnam County was about as good as it gets. The kid they had on the mound's everything 85 plus. Struggled to locate a curveball. My guys just set dead red. Dwayne loves sitting dead red fastball all the time. Jakey Davis, too, comes up with some huge RBIs. Kyle Bratton, huge triples. I mean, it was just phenomenal. Jackson Smith behind the plate for us. You know, hardly any mistakes at all. I mean, we just, as a complete team, did a tremendous job. They bought into their roles, which is something I've tried to preach to them. Not everyone's going to be hitting the ball off the wall. know what your role is and fall into it and be the best at your role you can be. And I really felt like our guys did that. I was very, very pleased with it.
And you get down in the semifinal game, the state championship game, you're down 5-6-0 in that game. Talk about the resilience there and what it was like to come back. And did they ever feel, or maybe even you as a coach, you ever feel you're out of it?
I mean, there's times where you think, is this going to be able to, or are we going to be able to do this? And I just kind of gathered the boys together after those early innings and just said, all right, you guys have a choice. You've made it this far into the state playoffs. Either you can lay down now and just give up and say, okay, great, we're the first team to ever make it to the Final Four for Marionville, or you guys can come back and you can want to get after it and battle your butts off. And they chose to do that. They chose not to give up. I had some great leaders this year, all the way from my seniors to my sophomore that started for me, that are getting pumped up out there. They're doing a great job. And they never made the moment too big. And that was the biggest thing. They just went out there and played another baseball game. I preached to them. This isn't anything else other than what we've played all year. You guys have played just as good at the teams. Let's just come out, play our brand of baseball. They did, and it paid off for us.
Coach, what are you going to have to replace going into next year? I know we're just a few days out of your state championship, but what kids you lose to graduation that are going to be tough to replace?
Yeah, absolutely. So we start off with Jordan Williams, our ace on the mound, a great bat. Yesterday he just got announced he won Southwest Conference Player of the Year. Holy cow, he did everything for us, but he's worked his absolute tail off too. Jordan is going to be a tough one to replace. Luckily, we've got a lot of guys that play those positions that are coming up that I think can step up and fill some roles. And whenever you lose a player like that in a program, they're never replaceable, but you just hope that the next big guy comes through and buys into the process. Dwayne Hammonds had caught his entire life. This was his first year ever playing first base. And he finds a way to get the job done, had a tremendous year in the field for us, swung a great bat. And the team, leader, as far as he led our team Bible study that the kids decided to have. He was the one who would go and comfort, any freshman that would make mistakes in a JV game. He would be happy to give anybody advice. He was a coach's dream, and Dwayne is just going to be missed having around this program. And, as far as a player, he'll really be missed as well. And then the last one, Kyle Bratton, going to play baseball college of the Ozarks too as an outfielder. Kyle's another one, a great senior leader. He had never had any varsity experience before this year. And he struggled at times trying to move into that varsity role compared to JV. By the end of the year, though, had really improved, done a tremendous job, started reading balls a lot better in the outfield, played center field, became a much better leader out there, and just did whatever it took. Came up huge for us in some big situations in the Final Four. Kyle is going to be really, really missed as well.
Well, Coach, I certainly appreciate your time here. This is we've had to cut this twice because of probably some technical error, obviously on my end. But I'm a high school PE teacher by trade. This stuff is still kind of new to me. But Coach, we appreciate it. Congratulations on behalf of Shipbuilders of the Ozarks, Male Athletes of the Week there for the Marionville Comets, first baseball state championship in their history, and sounds like you guys had a lot of fun doing it. And again, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Guy. I appreciate it.
All right, Coach Weatherman, we'll be back after these messages from 92.3 KICK and the Missouri Sports Network.